What's going on, everybody? It's Cody. Welcome back to another video. This one we're going to discuss what's happening in the St. George real estate market. We've seen some changes over the last couple months as we go into the hotter summer months. Man, it's getting hot out there. We're starting to see a lot of changes in the market and some things that you're going to want to know about. If you're looking at buying or selling real estate here in the near future, this is something that you're going to want to pay attention to because the market's shifting and it does change based on the seasonality as well as what's happening with interest rates, inventory, builders. There's a lot of variables that go into this. So if you're looking for information, this is the exact spot that you need to be in. My name's Cody Steck, your favorite Utah realtor. If you're looking at buying, selling, or investing in real estate, please reach out to me. Call, text, or email me anytime. My information is here on the screen and you'll find it in the description box down below. I've helped hundreds of people move here from out of state as well as people here locally make a relocation within, maybe even just city limits or from one part of the state to the other. My team and I service the entire state and we'd love to help you along in that journey. So with that said, let's jump into my screen here. We're going to take a look at a couple different things. We're going to take a look at the market and we're going to take a look at interest rates to start. So taking a look at interest rates right off the bat, we've seen a lot of changes with interest rates. They're up, they're down, they're kind of all over the place. Over the last couple months, back here in December and January is when we were at, the most recent low. Going back over a year, we were at about 7% last summer. We dipped down to about 6.5% over the winter, came back up to about 7.5%, and now we're sitting in that low 7% range. Now, if you're a buyer shopping in this market, typically from most of the local lenders, I'm seeing that we're a little bit lower than that. So even though this graph right here is showing that we're in the low 7% range, really it's actually about mid to high 6% range, about 6.5, maybe 6.75, somewhere in that range seems to be typical for lenders here in Utah from what I'm seeing. So on a 30-year fixed rate mortgage, plan on about 6.5 to 6.75 depending on your situation. For a 15-year, it's going to be about a 0.5% lower than that. Right here it says 6.5% as the going rate. 15-year, you'd probably be closer to probably 6%, maybe just under 6%. FHA is going to be similar. FHA is going to be about 6.5% showing right here. However, you're going to be closer to about 5.9 or maybe 6% flat on a 30-year FHA loan. VA will be very similar as well. These are almost identical, VA and FHA. They're very, very close. So again, plan on around 6% for interest rates right there. The important thing I want to point out here though is we zoom in a little bit. You can see that interest rates were lower during the winter months, so keep that in mind as we look at this data set. Now, we're going to jump over here. We've got two different sets of data. We have two MLS systems that get used in southern Utah, so we're going to look at information from both of them. Some of this information is going to overlap, so take that with a grain of salt, but really we're just trying to get a better understanding of what's happening in the market and what's going on with prices, what homes are being listed for, how quickly they're moving, and how much room there is to negotiate. If you're a seller in this market, this is helpful for you. Most of the people who are watching this are probably buyers, so that's also going to be important on knowing how much you can really go out there and negotiate on these particular homes and knowing what's realistic, right? Some homes are going to be listed at a certain number. They're going to sell above that number. Other homes are going to be listed at this number and they're going to sell for way below, right? So really having somebody on your side who knows what's happening in the market, sees homes every single day, does home sales every single week or month, and knows the overall market is going to be incredibly helpful for you. So taking a look at our first set of data here, this is going to be for Washington County. You can see right here, our search criteria is Washington County. So this includes the St. George Metro, it includes Hurricane, La Verkin, and all of the smaller surrounding areas as well. So looking at May of 2024, the last month that we have a full data set for, according to this, we have 197 home sales, which is down just slightly from where we were of May of last year. Looking at the median list price, this number is actually up, right? We're at $550,000 for the median list price compared to $515,000 back here in May of last year. And this is pretty typical. You can see that it jumps around pretty substantially. When you're dealing with a smaller data set like this, it's not always going to be, fine-tuned like it would be if you had more numbers to pull data from. So back in March of 2023, we're at 540, jumped all the way up to 595, and then back down to 515. Same thing this year, March 549, 607, then back to 550. I think this may be because we do see some higher end luxury homes get listed in April. Not sure why, but that's kind of seems to be the sweet spot for when a lot of these homes hit the market. And so we do see that jump up in homes and the median list price during that time. Also taking a look at the median sales price to list price ratio, this is at 96%, right? So if a home is on a median basis is listed at 550, it's selling for about 530 based on these numbers. So this is down just slightly from April where we saw 97%, but it's still pretty close in line with what we've seen over the last few months, 95, 95, 98. Typically these winter months are a little bit higher, as you can see, 98, 97, 98, because this is when the winter is very nice in St. George. The weather is very manageable. And a lot of people, especially from Salt Lake or other northern parts, will come down to St. George. They have second homes here, and they'll actually purchase these homes during the winter because they want to enjoy these softer winters where they can still get outside, still go for a walk or go to the park or go golfing or do whatever they want to do. So typically the winters are actually still pretty strong here in St. George. The other thing I want to look at is days on market, which is at 28. It is lower than what we've seen in the winter months. Again, even though the sales prices are typically a little bit higher or a little bit stronger during the winter months, the days on market is a little bit higher during that time as well. Let's jump over here and take a look at our other MLS system. Now this one's going to look quite a bit different, but we're going to look at a few different things here, right? So the number of listings, active listings on the market has climbed a little bit over the last year or so. So this goes all the way back to June right here of last year. You can see it kind of went up into October, comes down through the winter months, either because people are not selling or because people are purchasing those homes. And then it kind of climbs back up as we go through these spring months, just very, very slightly. If you actually look at this gray number, you can see the number of sold listings. The number of sold listings has just slowly declined over the last year until about February, but then it picks up steam. We start to see a climb going into the spring months. So more homes are actually selling during the spring, during this time, right? So that's highlighted by this gray area right here. Prices is a little bit different. Now let's take a look at listing prices. Active median list price is going to be this blue line right here. You can see that it's kind of slowly dipped down, but then in January, for whatever reason in February, we saw a pretty big jump. We went from about 575 all the way up to about 625, and then it's kind of stayed in that range, right? So the list price has actually jumped up substantially for whatever reason from January into February. Again, the new median list price even had a even bigger jump up, 523 all the way up to 624. So again, I think this is due to higher end luxury homes coming available for sale. This is when we had Parade of Homes, and there's a lot of new homes jumping on the market. So a lot of these higher end luxury homes are being sold during that time in preparation for the spring selling season. And so that could be that's probably the main reason why this is such a dramatic jump during this time. The other thing I want to look at here is the absorption rate. So this is how many months it would take for buyers to consume all of the active inventory in the market if there were no new listings. So back here in October, we're at 4.5 months. We dipped down to about 3.83 months, and then it's climbed back up. Just something that's kind of noteworthy to see what happens during that winter. And then the sold to list price ratio, same thing. It does actually dip down. You can negotiate slightly better deal kind of going into the end of the year, but then it starts to gradually climb. Like I said, a lot of people want to enjoy the winters in St. George. So if you're looking at shopping during January, February, March, anytime after that, it does typically start to climb. Even the summers are really strong. We're sitting at 97% as of May 24th, right, when this data was pulled. Days on market has also dropped off pretty substantially during this time. We were at 83 over here, now down to 60 for the month of May. And then this last one, price volume, we're not gonna really look at that, but we'll scroll down and take a look at some information on what's happening in different price ranges. With that being said, guys, just a quick reminder, if you're looking at buying, selling, or investing in real estate, I wanna be your trusted real estate resource of choice. My team and I service the entire state, and we'd love to help you throughout that journey. So if you're looking for information on what's happening in the market, what you should be looking for, what areas or neighborhoods to consider, or even just some general information about real estate, I'd love to help. Please reach out to me, call, text, or email me anytime. My information is here on the screen, and I'm ready to jump in and help and have a conversation with you. I can't wait to hear from you. All right, so let's scroll down a little bit here. We're gonna take a look at the sold listings for year to date. We wanna look at this information right here, 2024 versus 2023. Now, the way that this is broken down is a little bit deceptive. It goes in $50,000 increments all the way up to 500,000, but then it jumps to 250,000 increments, and then even $1 million, it goes $1 million to $2 million. So it's a little bit different there. That's a pretty wide range, so just keep that in mind. But taking a look at this, we'll start right here, like 250, let's say like 250 to 400, right? So there's a 6.2% increase, 2.4%, and 45.5% increase in the number of homes being sold in this price point. So pretty huge jump up there from 350 to 400,000. It's actually declined just slightly between 400 and 450, potentially because these homes that were in this price range are now a little bit higher, sitting in this 450 to 500 range, where we saw a 16% increase. You can see that the number of home sales that are happening at these higher price points has increased substantially, meaning that there's more demand in the market, there's more people feeling confident with the market, and they're willing to purchase homes at these higher price points. Looking at this, we've had 608 home sales above 500,000 and between 500 and 750. 223 here, 180 here, even going up to 2, 3, 5 million plus, 24 home sales, 14 and 6 home sales. So we've seen some pretty big substantial increases there. The number of home sales this year compared to last year on a year-to-date basis has increased 12.3%. So there's a lot of really good information in here. If you want, you can kind of pause the video and look at this different information in these different price points to kind of get a sense of what's happening across the market as a whole. With that being said, guys, this kind of wraps up the video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Before you go, we've got tons of videos about different areas and neighborhoods that you should check out. You can find that here on the channel. Just type in my name, Cody Steck, find the video that you're looking for on the particular area or city you want to watch, and I've got a video about it there. You can also subscribe so you get notified on these new upcoming videos. And lastly, reach out to me, call, text, or email me anytime if I can be of assistance in any way. With that said, thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.